Recording.
I'll start.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just want to welcome my new coach, Emily, and congratulate her on being on her first team call.
Hello, Emily. Welcome to the team. I see a new coach, Taylor Clark. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is her first call. My new coach, Brooke, might not be on here yet, but she'll definitely be catching the recording. Mary is halfway to Emerald, you guys. I can't see if she's on yet or not either, but she's halfway to Emerald. It's a way to go. Anybody else want to shout anybody out? I see Kristen's on here, guys. Send her some prayers. She had a really bad accident, but she's hanging in there. So send her some love and prayers.
I want to shout out Audrey. She's been organizing our Philly weekly runs. We've been doing like socially distanced runs for 30-day breakaway. So thank you for organizing that. And we're doing like a different location every week. So highly recommend if y'all have locally team members or people outside of your team, like this is a great way to kind of connect in a way that is safe and fun. And then also Allie Workman, as always, she's revamping our entire free group process for our team. And I'm just so proud of you for jumping into leadership so early on. You guys don't have to wait till you're a certain rank or years in the business to be a leader. You can do anything you want at any time you want. So thank y'all for stepping up and being awesome leaders.
I wanted to shout out Lynette. I don't know if she's on yet, but Lynette is out there killing it. She's homeschooling her kids. Then she leaves at 1 p.m. to go to work, comes back at 9 and does her business at that time. She gets up early in the morning also and does her workout. And today she's signing up her spouse. So she's going to be 1 away from Emerald. And I'm so proud of her for coming back and killing it. So I don't know if Lynette's on yet, but I wanted to shout her out.
Lynette, let's go. Anybody else? Guys, please grace us with your presence if you can turn on your video so we can see you. Obviously, if you're like nude or something, maybe don't, but we want to see your faces. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going to shout out Nicole. She's killing it. She's about to lock in month 2. Success starter, has like 6 coaches in her organization. And just, I think my favorite thing about mentoring Nicole is that she's just fearless in asking questions. Like she'll just straight up send me conversations and be like, help me, what do I do? Or what do I say? And what that is doing is helping her build confidence that is making her go out there and feel like she can actually do this business because she's had that guidance. So I know a lot of times we look to our uplines to reach out to us and to check on us and see how we're doing. But guys, I urge you, if you have questions, if there's something you need to know, ask your coach. They want to be here for you. And Nicole has been so good about reaching out and just being like, I hope I'm not bugging you. I'm like, no, I gave you permission to do this, so do it. And it's been such an awesome experience, and it's really showing in her business. So great job.
Get it, girl. That's a great point too. Like, guys, don't feel afraid to ask questions. Like I was asking those kind of questions to Natalie at one point. She was messaging Rachel those kind of questions at one point. Like we all were there. So just ask the questions, so you know what to do, and you thrive and succeed. And you'll be able to help a coach with those same things. Yeah, we want you to, exactly. Maggie made a great point. She's more concerned when new coaches aren't peppering her with new questions. Anybody else? All right, guys. Let's just go over quickly a couple of things to keep in mind. Next week is the 30-day breakaway customer launch. So right now it's in your coach exclusive window, which means discount coaches who are currently signed up can order it. Or if you guys have customers or just new clients that want to enroll, they can start out with a discount membership and get the 30-day breakaway challenge pack. So they don't already have to be signed up as a discount coach. They can actually sign up in the process as a discount coach to get 30-day breakaway. Just want to congratulate Nat for being at leadership this week virtually. She is going to be sharing with us, and Kelsey as well. They're going to be, she's going to share with us next Wednesday just about everything that she heard at leadership. Typically, there's some like announcements. I'm pretty sure you'll probably hear a little bit about Autumn's program that's coming out and that we're going to be graced with at the beginning of 2021, and we are already thinking about ways that we're going to prepare you guys for the next couple of months as we go into 2021. It's going to be insane. Autumn is probably our most known trainer, aside probably from Tony Horton. He's like a legend, and Shanti. So 9-week control freak is going to be happening, and I can't wait. Peppermint Mocha Shakeology is also coming in November as well. We're going to give you guys a little bit of a game plan on that, but just keep that in mind. That is a fan fave. I love it more than pumpkin spice. Like, it is so good. So keep that in mind. Start letting your challengers know. I'm pretty sure there still is pumpkin spice that people can order, because I just had someone order some yesterday. So that's still in stock. Does anybody else want to add anything?
I don't want to say anything because I literally have no idea, but if you guys can pray to the Shanti gods, then I have no idea why he's working us out at leadership. Usually trainers that work us out at leadership is because something epic is happening. So if you guys are Shanti fans like me, hopefully I can report something really exciting, but I have no idea. It's him, Autumn, and Megan. So why is Shanti going to be there? Who knows? But hopefully some cool announcements coming.
Maybe like next spring or something, because we typically find out. I don't know. Good to know though. Good to know. Anybody else want to add anything really quick? Anybody? How many of you guys were obsessed with Bob last week, started listening to his podcast, and immediately signed up for Legacy Leadership? One or the other. Like, if you didn't already start listening to him, you're listening to him now. I was just talking to my team before this, and I was like, so I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a trend. We're all listening to Bob. We're all learning from Bob, and we're all implementing Bob's systems, and we're all already seeing shifts in our teams because of that. So tonight is kind of a continuation of that. A couple weeks ago, Kelsey spoke on our call, and she just showed us a little bit about her system. She did a great job basically being as real as possible with us. If you guys didn't get to watch that call, it was a really, really great call, and it's back in the recordings. She kind of embarrassed now a little bit, showing the 15-page Google Doc system that she started with, but she also showed the systems that she uses now for her teams and how important a third-party tool can be, because it's something that we can duplicate. And I'll be the first to tell you, I was like, so against third-party tools. I was so against anything besides me doing all the work, being in the conversation, leading these people, like message after message after message, back and forth, have to ask them this so that they say, like, I was just like, I did not want to relinquish the control. But I also felt like my business wasn't scaling to where I felt like it could scale, and I wasn't helping my team scale their businesses. So from now on, like, we really want you guys to get in the mindset, whether you are a brand new coach or you are a star diamond coach, you have to start getting into the mindset and understanding from the moment you message someone, they are asking themselves if they could do what you do. And when we become experts in conversations, it gets really scary for someone to ever think that they could do what you do. But if you invite someone, send them a third-party tool, funnel them into your community, send them a really simple system to get started as a challenger, it's a lot easier for them to picture themselves in your shoes, because they didn't feel like they needed to know all the facts and figures that you knew, which helps them get started. Okay, so we're going to kind of talk tonight about how to utilize third-party tools. Like I said, I was so against this, but finally I said, I had to ask myself, why isn't my business growing and scaling? And I started implementing these tools, and it has made a huge difference, I feel like, so far, just in the last month, especially in my like conversations, challengers, signups, and retention and things like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you guys see this? All good? Thumbs up. Okay. Boom. First slide. Second slide. We don't have to be experts, and I already said that, but I'm going to reiterate that. Okay, so third-party tools can help you save time. I was just talking to one of my coaches the other day, and she was like, dude, I don't feel like I have time. to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, social media isn't necessarily the most positive place in the world right now. I've actually put screen time limits on my social media, and it has been amazing. If you haven't done that, I highly recommend it. Yes, we work on social media, but we don't need to be doing really anything else but that on there, right? Get on your social media, work your business, stop scrolling, right? And also the people that you're in conversations with, it's going to save them time too. They're not going to feel like they have to be back and forth with you as much. You're going to show someone how simple what you do is from the jump. If you send someone a link to look at something, that person's going to think, oh, I could send someone a link to look at something. You're going to get to the bottom line quicker, and it's going to feel a lot simpler, and it's going to showcase a little bit more professionalism. So this is something that I really, really feel has helped too. And yes, it's going to show them that you're with Beachbody. And I think sometimes we get into this habit of like, we don't necessarily want people to know right off the bat that we do Beachbody, but I have to ask myself why. You know, I don't think you need to like be a Beachbody billboard on your social media, because then you'd basically just be a Beachbody website. We want people to connect with you. We want people to sign up because of you being their coach, because they connected with you. So it's not about being Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody all over your website. But when it comes to the tools that you're going to use to help them, when it comes to the supplements that you're going to be providing them and the fitness programs that you're going to be supplying them with, why not let them know that it's Beachbody, right? Why not stand behind the company that we are partnered with and show them that this is this is who I'm partnered with, and there's not any question as to, you know, what they're going to be getting and what they're going to be working with. And when you know right off the bat, like, so I'm going to show you guys some of the, like one of the tools here in a second, but when you know their experience with Beachbody from the jump, you're going to know whether they know anything about it. You're going to know if they had a bad experience, or you're going to know, you know, if maybe they've dabbled a little bit here and there, and then you're going to be able to figure out what you need to do for them to help them have a better experience this time. You're going to discover the objection quicker because you're getting to the bottom line quicker. But this doesn't mean that we stop sending messages and we stop inviting. This doesn't mean that we take these videos and we take these PDFs and we go out and we just blast people's inboxes with them. That is not what a third-party tool is meant to be used for. This doesn't mean that we stop connecting. And this also doesn't mean that we just no longer get told no. This doesn't mean that we're just exempt from people no longer not replying. That's just going to be part of the process. But this makes things so much simpler, okay? So I want you guys to start thinking about an invitation in a way that an invite is not meant to lead to a sign up. An invite is meant to lead to learning how you can serve them. So imagine if you guys started going into your invites tomorrow and going into your social media and messaging people. And imagine if you approached that with the mindset, who can I serve today? Versus who can I sign up today? Because that initial invite is not meant to lead directly to a sign up. And you might be like, well, I'm trying to hit Success Club, or I'm trying to rank advance, so I do want them to sign up. And yes, you do, but you will get those signups when you lead with serving. And I don't know if you guys have been listening to Bob, but that's kind of what he preaches. And it's true. When you have that intention and you have that in your mind of how can I serve the person that I'm going to message, you are going to come out with way better results. And you're going to come out with way more retention in your signups, because retention starts before someone even signs up. I want you guys to think about that. The retention starts before they even sign up, because you are learning about them. You are placing yourself in a position where they see that you are here to serve them. And guess what? It's not going to serve everyone. Like, it just isn't. What we have is not going to serve everyone. And it's not personal. But you might be saying, like, it feels personal. And that's because you're making it about you. And it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about them. Because we're going to them with the mindset, who can I serve today? Instead of who can I sign up today? No is just going to be part of your process. And that's something that every single person just has to get okay with. It's part of my process. It's part of Natalie's. It's part of Maggie's. It's part of every single person that you see hitting Success Club, rank advancing, hitting goals in this business. Being told no is just going to be part of your process. And the more you delay starting that process, you're delaying the yes. You're delaying hearing yes from that person because you're afraid to hear the no. So just keep that in mind. When you get told no, it's not about you. If I walk into a store and I'm specifically looking for a red dress and I don't see a red dress in that store and I turn around and walk back out, do you think that cashier is going to take that personal? Do you think that cashier or the person that's walking around the store helping people find what they came to look for is going to take that personal? No, not at all. Right? So we have to detach our emotions, and no offense, girls, but we got to toughen up a little bit. All right? We're in business. Toughen up a little bit. I don't mean be some like hardcore B, okay? But toughen up a little bit. Don't take it so personally. All right. So I want to take you through this slide, then I just want to show you guys one of the third-party tools. So Bob said this to me today, and I was like, oh man, this is me. I need to learn to shut my mouth sometimes. I need to learn to listen. I need to learn to sit back and not fill that quiet space. The less you say, the more money you are going to make. Because the less you make it about you, the less you word vomit, the less you feel like you, again, have to be this expert and give them all these different things all at once, the more income you're actually going to make long term. So what do you say? All right. So if we were to kind of break down an invite, and guys, I can't tell you how to exactly go message someone. I can't tell you how to exactly invite someone because it's supposed to be from you. It's supposed to be personal to who you are and the voice that you have and the energy that you have. But this is kind of like a little bit of a flow that you can kind of take on. So first things first is I let them know that I'm here to serve them, and I share a little bit more about what I'm offering. So typically that's something like, I'm opening a new virtual wellness boot camp this month to blank. It could be help people get started in a running program and help them feel supported in starting a new skill. I wanted to be sure and include you in case this could serve you. Are you interested in learning more about the boot camps I run? I can send over a quick way for you to see what all it entails on your own time. So I always say that because I want them to know that I'm on their time. They're not on my time. I'm on their time. Okay. So I'm letting them know this is something that they can take from me and go look at when they're ready. Because like maybe they're in the middle of something absolutely insane. Right. And they just need to know that they can like come back to this and figure this out when they're ready. And again, that was like me. I had to learn to like let go of control with that because I felt this scarcity that I had to keep people around. I had to keep people coming back. I had to be in that back and forth conversation. And the reality of it is, guys, they're going to come back if they want to come back. Right. Or they're going to come back when you follow up regardless. And then you always ask before you send the third-party tool. So are you interested in learning more about the boot camps I run? I can send over that quick way for you to learn more. So depending on what they say here, guys, like if they're like, yes, absolutely, I would love that. I've been looking for ways to work out, or I'm needing a way to get involved in a community, then I'm definitely going to go ahead and like send that tool and move forward with some of the questions. But if they're like a little hesitant, and they're maybe like, yeah, I don't know if this could be for me right now though, or something like that, I might just ask like one more question and maybe say, but what would you want to achieve if you jumped into something like this? Or if there was one area of your life that you could improve right now, what would that be? Or how much time would you spend working out a day how much time would you dedicate to a workout a day if you could? And just like get to know them a little bit more. And then when I send the third-party tool, or right before I send the third-party tool, I ask a question like this: what are you looking to gain or achieve from this? Tell me more about you and your goals so we can customize the best route for you. I always say this because I want them to know that I want to know what's best for them. I'm going to customize what they need for the solution to their problem. so that they don't feel like I'm just trying to get them to get something, right? Like this is about them. And it really is. And 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, it's a challenge pack. 99.9% of the time. It's very, 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 very rare, guys, that like that total solution that Beachbody has created for us to use isn't exactly what they're going to need for their health and fitness goals. So here is a little example of like a third-party tool that I've been using, and I can share this with the team after this because it's super generalized. There's nothing like specific on here to me, nothing like that. And all this is one page of basically giving them the breakdown of what our basic challenge pack is. And so obviously, if we're in a month where there's a launch or different things like that, you know, we can kind of like share a little bit more of that here and there or see if that's something that they would want to be a part of. But it always comes back to this basic bundle, right? No matter what our add-on is or, you know, what that person is like kind of thinking they need, it always comes back to this basic bundle. And then it gives them a little breakdown of like, what is Beachbody? And then what is a boot camp? And then here is a Vimeo link so that they can see exactly what Beachbody on Demand is. And then this is a little like a quick little breakdown of our nutrition programs. They can learn about Shakeology, they can see more about the performance line, and they can see the breakdown of the 2 nutrition programs that they're going to get in their bundle. I used to spend so much time going over these things, giving the facts and the figures. And honestly, I think to myself, like, why did anybody believe me when I told them how great Shakeology was, right? This is the legit stuff right here, telling someone whether, like, what this stuff is and why it's so incredible. But you still have to make it personal to them by asking them those questions, seeing how these certain things can serve them, and seeing how you're going to be able to best customize based on what they need. And this makes the follow-up so much easier because now you have something that you can go back to and ask them if they looked at it. You can go back to them and say, what stood out to you most about that PDF? Based on the goal that you told me of needing to improve your nutrition, what did you think of Shakeology? Based on the goal that you told me about needing to get a workout in a short period of time, what did you think of Beachbody on Demand? Okay. So do you guys see how like it's literally cutting that back and forth conversation in half, but you're able to get to that bottom line? Because the reality is, guys, is like Amanda, so you in Canva, you just have to save it as, I'll explain that later. I'll go back to that. The bottom line is like, you know, you want to funnel them through that process. And I always tell them when I send them that PDF that I will check back in with them, that I will come back and check back in with them and let them know what the next steps are. And then within a few days, I ask if they've had a chance to look it over or what stood out to them the most. And it's not like this is like magically, you know, creating all of this newfound success, but what it's doing, guys, is I'm spending less time back and forth, and I feel like they are more confident in what they're getting when they sign up from the start. Like they are already more informed, more excited, more confident, and more sure because they've seen it all broken down for them, like from the experts, not from me, from the experts. They've seen it broken down for them. Okay. Then, based on the goals and needs, we reiterate why each thing would kind of be best for them. So, like I said, you know, if they told me that they suck with nutrition, then we're going to really focus on Shakeology. If they told me that they have absolutely no energy and they suck at getting a workout in, we're going to talk about Energize. We know enough about those like 4-ish products right there to know when someone needs Shakeology. And we also know when they need both, right? So don't be afraid to say, actually, I think we should do this deluxe pack because based on everything you told me, this is exactly what you need. And guess what? You're telling them it's exactly what they need, but they're seeing it for themselves, right? Because they're looking at the third-party tool. It's telling them exactly why they need Shakeology. It's telling them exactly why they need that boot camp. It's telling them exactly why they need Energize and why it's so incredible. And you guys can take this format and kind of simplify it or, personalize it a little bit more to yourselves. But I want to urge you to understand that you want to make this simple and easy for everyone to use. And that's like the whole point of a third-party tool. So with price, I used to take all of these things and I felt like I had this beautiful explanation down. Like, you're never going to believe this. You get this and this and this. And I still do that because I still believe this is an absolute insane deal. But on teambeachbody.com's website, guys, or if you guys utilize BB links, you can go to teambeachbody.com and go to every single product and challenge pack that we have. And there is a little graphic like this for every single one, if you just scroll over at the bottom. And this is essentially, again, another third-party tool, because you could spend all your time feeling like you needed to say the perfect thing, or you could just be confident and say, all right, this is exactly what you need. And I'm going to show you the price breakdown for that so we can move forward. And you're not going to worry about whether they say yes. You're not going to worry about an objection because it's not about you. And you're not banking on this person signing up because you've got like a gajillion more conversations going because you've been confident in reaching out to people and trying to serve them. You see the difference? So often, you guys, we're shooting ourselves in the foot because we're just building our business from a really scarce place. And if we just approached it with this more abundant outlook, that you're always going to find the people. You're always going to serve the people. You're always going to have someone to serve. But if you get hung up on no and fearing these steps, which hopefully this is making you feel a lot more excited and confident because you don't need to feel like you got to go back and forth and be an expert. All you got to do is point them in the right direction and be a facilitator. You got to take these things that Beachbody has provided to us and pair people with them. That's what we do as coaches. So for every single challenge pack, deluxe pack, 30-day breakaway, UPS, like literally every challenge pack, there is a graphic like this. I send this graphic. I do say something like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And I say, I'm recommending Shakeology to you because of XYZ. I'm recommending Energize to you because of XYZ. It pretty much spells it out right there, how much they're saving, and it's insane. Okay. Now we're next to the discount coach versus a customer. Again, you can use this graphic third-party tool. You don't have to worry about how to explain it. But I pretty much always let people know a discount coach is the way to go. I just start with that. I say, look, there's two options to sign up, but in my opinion, discount coach is the best way to go because you are going to save on your products if you fall in love with them next month already ahead of time. Like, you don't even have to worry about switching. You have the opportunity to earn in return. So say you have a friend or a family member or someone that notices that you're crushing it and they would want to get something from you. And then there's no fee to cancel. You can cancel at any time. You can pause your orders at any time. So I always reiterate, no matter what, if they go with discount coach or customer, that you can control where your money is going. And I always used to fear that because I thought they would cancel more often. But actually, guys, when they trust you, when they trust this company, when they trust what they're getting involved in, they're going to be more likely to spend their money because they're going to feel confident in their ways and how they're able to control where their money is going. And I want people to feel that way, right? I would rather you join me and pause your Shakeology that next month and then be a consistent Shakeology drinker for the next 12 months. So don't always be scared if somebody pauses that next month because maybe they're just trying to get their feel with it. Maybe they haven't even got it in the mail yet, right? So don't be so quick to write people off or fear that they're not going to stick around. All right. Now they're all signed up. They're all set. We're going to go through a system to get them started as a challenger. And sorry, guys, this is frozen. Come on, Canva. There we go. Whew. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the Google Drive that's going to give you all of these resources here in a second. But this is kind of and this is going to be in there. I found Allie, I don't remember where I originally got that, but I'll share all of that in the team page with you guys after this. So the first things first, and I'm going to show all you guys this. I just want to run through it really quick. Welcome email. Next, you're going to make sure you nail down the specific program if you haven't yet, and a start date if you haven't yet. So sometimes we have specific groups that start on specific dates. Sometimes we have groups that are ongoing and people are starting programs based on what's best for them. But you want to make sure you know that about your person. They set up their bod profile, before photos and measurements, check in to make sure their order has arrived, and they've opened their box and tried their supplement. How many of you guys can can honestly say that you talk to your people about getting their box, opening their box, trying their supplements ASAP? Because that is so important. A lot of times people like push that to the side, and that needs to be like the first thing that they do so that we can make sure they like it, and we can make sure they're drinking it, and we can make sure that they're not going to be canceling and pausing because they're falling in love with it that first month. Then you're going to point them towards their nutrition. Then you're going to send an upgrade email. All right. So let me take you to that stuff because I okay. All right. So Natalie showed us 2 weeks ago that like new coach Google Drive. So what I'm going to do is here's my new coach Google Drive. In there is a folder for the new challenger system for coaches to use. So this is the system that a coach will use for their challenger. And there's just 3 documents, guys. There's just 3 documents. All right. So you got your welcome email, which is going to go through kind of like that housekeeping stuff. So I give them a little bit of like word of encouragement here. And I put on here, edit this according to your client, according to what they got, or according to like, whatever you want to say. So you guys, you're going to get all of these like templates, but as you can see, there's like parentheses and different things. So make sure that you don't just copy and paste this because that might look confusing. I just kind of set the expectation, right? Of the only way to fail is quitting. I let them know that I'm here to support them, but I don't know if they're struggling. So I need to know if they're struggling. They need to tell me if they're struggling. Then I share with them how to set up BOD. And I recorded a video here for you guys that is basically a 10-minute quick rundown of every single thing that they're getting on Beachbody On Demand. I feel like a lot of times, like I'll post something in my challenge group, like just did this quick 15-minute cardio from Insanity Max 30. And my challengers are like, where's that? Because I'm like, yeah, I needed a quick 15-minute workout. I'm on the road. I just needed to throw something in there. And people, I don't feel like even realize the value that's on Beachbody On Demand. Between the fixate recipes and like all the different things on the blog, all the different workouts. So that's there. I tell them to be on the lookout for their shipping confirmation. And then we roll into checking out their new client bundle, which is where all their resources are going to be. Okay. So from there, they get this. All right. So this has a checklist for them so that they know where their focus needs to be. Get on BOD, locate program, set your start date, plug into the community, get in your boot camp. That could be on BOD. That could be a group chat. I know a lot of us are doing a lot of different things. So that could be literally whatever you want it to be. Make sure they're taking before photos and measurements. Do not skip this step. Because when your challenger commits with a before photo and they commit with before measurements, they're a heck of a lot more likely to keep going. They receive their supplements and start using them. They choose their nutrition path and implement, and they ask any questions that they might have. I also went ahead and put in here a little are you curious about coaching? This is going to link them to 2 really short videos. And the point of this like being in there, guys, is you're planting the seed. Okay, you're planting the seed so that if they are curious, which a lot of times I feel like they are, they just don't want to say it, they can go ahead and go look for themselves. The next thing is a order modifying graphic. They're going to have it. They get it in their welcome email and they get it here. They know how to check their orders. Okay. Next thing is join the virtual gym. All right. So our team's virtual gym is linked here by clicking here, and the meeting ID and passcode is there. So you never have to be like, oh crap, I forgot to tell them. Oh crap, why aren't my challengers jumping on? It's here for them. Next, I love this. This is a Beachbody product guide. This is here for them to start shopping, right? For them to get curious and be like, oh, there's a kid shake. Oh, let me check out that Energize that everyone's drinking in my challenge group. Let me go look at, those beach bars that I see my coach always using. So when it's coming up to especially their like renewal time, if they're not liking Shakeology or they're not a big fan of what they started with, direct them to this PDF and have them look at other things that are available to them and see if something else that you offer can serve them. This is the navigating bod video. And I thought my face wasn't going to show up in this, and it did. And I looked like such a hot mess, but we're leaving it. Okay. We're leaving it. Okay. This is the Nutrition 101 PDF. Guys, this is our nutrition breakdown. UPF, 2B, it breaks it all down here, gives them resources, and it also tells them exactly about Nutrition Plus. So in the welcome email at the bottom, right under client bundle, it tells them about this PDF to go ahead and get plugged into this and go ahead and start utilizing Nutrition Plus in month 1 while they get it free. Okay. But the point of all of this is like, the work is done. You just have to facilitate, right? You just have to point them in the right direction. I even put in here books, mindset. If you have a challenger that's really struggling mentally, recommend a book from this. There's even stuff in here for like emotional eating, clean eating and nutrition. Like we all know the value of personal development. We all know the value of personal development. And people become coaches, I feel like, and become the best coaches when they are obsessed with growth. And they're willing to just like I wanted to become a coach because I was craving the growth that I literally saw happening in Natalie right in front of my eyes. Like she was a changed person. I was like, I want that. It just so happened that there was a compensation plan attached to it. So it's really good to like introduce them to that growth. Why not from the jump? It's just another service that you're providing. Shakeology recipes, and then other ways that they can make Shakeology too. So I just think it's valuable to be able to provide like multiple ways for them to use their shake. Like if they're not able to get a smoothie in every day, then start recommending these types of things. And because like their family is probably going to become obsessed with these different types of things as well. All right. So that is, I believe, yeah, that's everything in this new, and then they get a 12-week meal plan. Okay. So that's everything in their new challenger bundle. So I will give you guys this exact link to this exact bundle. If you want to download these things and then upload them into your own Google Drive, you can do that as well. But also what's good about this is like if we're in the middle of a launch and you have specifically 30-day breakaway resources that you want to put in there, throw them in there. But you can always throw something in, take something out. It's really easy to interchange. You don't have to spend a bunch of time on it. The work is done for you. And you don't have to like lay in bed at night. Like, did I tell them how to modify their order? Like, you don't have to lay in bed at night. Did I give them meal plans? It's all going to be right there for them. Now, all you have to do is make sure that you know these things. Okay. So I recommend at least once a week to make sure that you set aside a time to be specific about your current clients and the people that you've enrolled this year. People you've enrolled this month, people that you've enrolled this year. Keep a list of people that you've enrolled with their challenge pack type. So you know whether or not they were a customer or discount coach, you know whether or not they got Shakeology or performance and the date that they enrolled, and make sure you've touched base with them and you know these certain things. And obviously this is going to change person to person. So when you want to send their upgrade email to discount coach, that's also in here. One second. I don't know where I'm in so many different, but it's in there. The email to send to upgrade is in there. Literally explains the whole process to them. Super, super simple. You need to know if they're in your community somewhere, if they're plugged in, the program they're doing and the date that they're starting it, that they've taken their before photos, how they're doing on their program, if their orders arrived, if they've tried their supplements and using them consistently, what nutrition plan they've decided to go with, and where they stand right now in coaching by introducing that to them. You should always know where your challenger stands with coaching. You should know whether or not you brought it up to them. You should know whether or not they're a hard no. You should know whether or not they're a maybe. You should know whether or not they're liking your coach posts. know where your challenge, and I like, honestly, guys, sometimes I'm like, I haven't even invited that girl to coaching and she's like been killing it for the last 3 months. What am I doing? And it's because I'm not tracking it. It's because I'm not making sure I'm making a specific effort to know these specific things about that person. And once you kind of have these things out of the way, these are like those just basic things that we need to know about our people so that we can get on a personal level with them, so that we can actually get into the coaching, so we can actually get into the fun part and connecting with them on a personal level. Because giving someone a good experience isn't going to just be about your system. It's going to be about connecting with them on a personal level. That's how you initiate a positive change in someone. It's done for you guys. The workouts, you don't need to be stressed out ever again when someone says, get your customers' results. Autumn is a trainer for that reason. Okay. Ilana is a nutritionist for that reason. Carl and Isabel and Darren, they created Shakeology for that reason. Utilize the tools. Get those systems down so that you can bring your personal touch and encourage them and support them and love on them and have fun with them. Like, so this was designed to be so simple. So simple. So that you can have fun and for real actually change lives. Because I know it's discouraging and like this is something that I've really 2020 taught me especially a lot about service. 2020 has taught me so much about the value of love and serving people where they are and just showing up every day with value. But this business isn't fun when you feel like you're not really actually changing lives, right? Like it is discouraging to go invite. It is discouraging to show up every day because we want to say and mean and feel that we are actually changing lives. And I feel like that starts with having a solid system like this, getting these housekeeping things out of the way so that you can actually go be their coach. That's what we want. We want you guys to actually get to be their coach and for reals, change their life. Does anybody have any questions? I'm looking at the chat really quick. So do your challengers get their own Google Drive link? Yeah. So my challengers in their welcome email, they get that Google Drive link. That's where that's where we would introduce that new challenger bundle. And I'll share that Google Drive folder that has the welcome email, that has the customer discount coach email. And then it also has a document where those steps that I just walked you through, guys, like the things that you need to know about your challengers, that's also going to be in there so that you know the step-by-step process. I sent their welcome email. I know when they're starting their program. And honestly, like you can take like one day a week and just make sure you're on top of these things. This doesn't necessarily even have to be like an everyday thing. Take like 1 or 2 days a week where you know you've touched base with these people, you've checked in with them. And I like sending them voice messages and like when I'm checking in and just saying like, hey, just checking in. How are you doing? How can I serve you? How can I support you? How did this week go? And they hear your voice and it takes like 5 seconds. That's it. Anybody want to ask any questions? I'll share all this in the team page.
There was a question. She said, do you run into issues with your challengers not knowing how to use Google Drive?
So I don't because these are all like viewable whether you like have Google Drive or not. So like anyone can view the link. So you don't have to like log into Google Drive to view these resources. I don't know if that helps or makes sense, but I did put in the welcome email to just save the link to the client bundle so that they can reference it back if they couldn't add it to their drive. Then it's just like a link to a website. You know, it's the same thing as me giving them a link to a website. Like if they don't add it to their drive, just save the link so that you can re-reference the link. Anything else? All right, guys. Well, I will share all of this in the page and let's go change some lives. We'll talk to you later.